I had a question for you, Mike.
Okay.
There's something that crops up every once in a while in this sport of ours that is interesting to me. The milestones, the starts. Guess who's got 100 starts this week?
Who's got 100 starts?
I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
200, 300. Right. So how many starts did Richard Petty have? Somebody look that up back there.
Figure it out.
Give me some of the greats. Right. Richard Petty. Let's pick any. Dale Jarrett. Just give me some of the top. Look at the list. Most starts in NASCAR. Find that list. Give us some numbers even in the 10th, 15th, whatever. I wonder how excited people are about that, or whether they think it's a lot or not a lot, or they think why are you documenting that?
Bobby Allison, 718.
All right,
17th
so
all time.
17th all time at 700 starts. So 700's a good number.
Richard Petty, 1,184.
Okay, all right. So when you guys see somebody sharing, and this is gonna come back and bite me in the ass. I know it.
Well, you called it at least.
these fun little snarky social media guys that run these teams accounts. They're amazing. I love them all. And there's some really, really good ones in our sport. RFK is really good. Their social media is great. Ours is good. I mean, there's a lot of great teams out there. They're going to get me on this one. They're going to have fun with this.
I thought this was going to a Racing Insight stat, so at least Russell's safe today. Good.
When you guys see like 300 starts for X driver, now that 700 gets you barely in the top 20, do you get excited about that? Share, is that something that we because that just started, that really never, I mean, of course, social media didn't exist either, but nobody would, we didn't go to the racetrack back in the 90s and go, dude, it's freaking Dale Jarrett's 300th start.
Yeah.
You believe that? That's a lot.
Does nothing for me.
No,
honestly.
right? It does nothing.
I have a take on this. I do have a perspective on this. Okay. As someone, before I worked for you, I was a publicist or a PR rep for another driver, and it was Jimmy Spencer. Mm-hmm. We had to work a lot harder to come up with storylines and headlines for Jimmy Spencer than I did when I was writing pre-race reports for you. And I will say that the notes packages for Jimmy Spencer had to sometimes get very creative. We didn't have a lot of wins. We didn't have any wins. But so you're looking for any nugget to put into a report and say, hey, everybody, this is news. Report about us. Report. You gotta write the stories. And, man, sometimes I just make stuff up for Jimmy. I would. He drove last week's race without any power steering. He's a hero. And I would just make it up. But the fact of the matter is that, it was fake news.
That's pretty messed up, man.
Fake news, right.
Wait, that's not
He was driving with his knees. Oh, my God.
I don't think you guys are going to let him just get away with that, are you?
Oh, no, I mean, listen, if I
I'm
admit
just
it,
gonna.
I
just
brought
can't really
it to
trust
Let's
anything
sit on
that
that.
comes
Let's
out
sit
of
on
my
that.
mouth.
I just can't trust anything you say.
So my point is that if you come
Let's
up on
sit
a
on-
milestone,
Let's sit on that for a minute.
okay, if you'd like to, I'm happy to talk about it. I even,
How do we know when you're telling the truth?
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
don't.
saying.
not back in 2003. 2003.
What are you embellishing now?
What am I? No, I'm just nothing but a big
These
old
days.
honest bunch of honesty right here. A big old glob of honesty now. But I didn't have to work for it. Oh, dude, that when I think about Dick Berggren, the PR reps, you during
You
a
back
race,
Mike in a corner, man. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth.
During a race, you're writing things
chips
on a
are down.
on a
When
notepad.
the chips are down on Mike, he gets a little shady.
Shady.
Yeah.
Backed against the wall,
Well,
and lies
yeah.
start coming
Shady
out.
as if I didn't admit it. Right?
Well, this is 20 years later.
Right. I mean, is there a statute of limitations on writing bullcrap notes?
20 years, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years. I feel I'm good.
Yeah.
But back to the look. You come up with anything
I
that you
understand
possibly
what
can.
you're saying.
You got to do it.
Okay.
36 38 weeks a year, 37 because we didn't really make the 36 because we didn't make the All-Star race or that.
Yeah. I feel like that announcing like that, 100 start, 200 start, if and when they do get to 700, it's less. It's like, you told us it was coming. I mean, we've heard all these years every time he had.
It's been on your radar.
Yeah. It makes it. I had to ask you guys what the stat was for a lot of starts, right? So we now know like 700's a good chunk to get you in the top 20. And so it kind of takes, and maybe it takes some of the impressiveness out of having a lot of starts.
Probably saturates it a bit.
Saturates it. Yes, that's it. That's
probably.
A good name. That's a good word for
probably
it.
Saturates it a bit.
I think that there should be.
Clearly it has for you. don't hit Dale with any milestone moments.
I would say 600's when you start.
Really?
Start thinking about it.
How many people actually even hit 600 though?
The
500 feels better. Again, what's top 20?
Okay.
600. So Tony Stewart's 32nd with 618.
All right.
James Hilton has 602.
Let's go to 500.
500.
We're going to 500. 500's when you can really kind of, hey, everybody, guess what? Guess who has 500 starts?
I don't even know how many starts you had, frankly. Do you know?
Can look it up.
631.
Then
Over 600.
631.
There we go.
So I would say 632 is when it starts. You're
You're
getting interesting.
632 is where it starts. 631. That's a lot. Of starts.
Ooh, Denny knocked you out the top 30 this year.
Daggum.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm getting bumped down the list, man. Getting used to that.
I didn't see that note about Denny. That should have been played up bigger.
Where was Denny's social media on there? They missed that opportunity.
Purple vest guy.
I really haven't. I don't think. I think I missed the 500 and the 600 start notifications from Denny.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, what about podcast episodes? Are those milestone moments? Because guess what? We got one coming.
What is it?
500.
Okay.
Well, right? What are we?
Yeah,
we're at 493 right now.
I guess if that feels like a lot to you guys, it feels like we've done 5,000.
That'd be a
does.
milestone right there.
It definitely fit. Like, yeah, you say it's episode 500 and we're like unimpressed. We're like, wait,
right.
it feels like way more, right?
All right, let's just go around the room.
Okay.
When are you posting on social media the number of starts you have in the Cup Series? Mike, go first.
I'm going to lower it from 500. I'm going to say 250. I'll split it.
Really?
Yeah, 250. Yes.
It's easy to get to, man.
Let me tell you why. Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Well,
We run so
again,
many races.
I'm not basing it off of how difficult it is. I'm just saying that a milestone, just like an anniversary, that at some point there's a nice round number.
In the Cup Series.
So
Yes,
again,
that's about 7 years in the
7
Cup
years.
Series.
Right.
That's not. I mean, that's a mid career. 7 years. That's like middle of the road.
I think that there's more people. I may live to regret this comment, but I think there's more people that will make in this current field that will be in the Hall of Fame than that make 700.
I guess what I've got it well.
Or 7 years of being a full time.
I've got it.
That's what I meant.
They
to say.
start younger, too. Which I
I've
think
got
helps.
it imprinted in my mind. Like the average Cup year is 20 years. So you're saying
That
less?
seems high to me.
It ain't.
It's not.
I ran for 20 years.
No, you're on the extreme side. You're on the high side.
He just said guys are starting younger. I started mid 20s. Guys are getting in the Cup Series at 20, 21 years old, 22 years old.
But I don't think they last as long.
That's what everybody says. They all last because they all love that money. They ain't going nowhere.
I don't think it's their decision. What? No, of course, if they had it, if it was their call,
guys
they would
can't
stay
make
in
it beyond 38, 37 years old?
I think that the way the competitiveness, you talk about it all the time, the field is as competitive as it ever is. And so if you hold up, if you go 2 or 3 seasons without being competitive, you're replaced.
By who?
Well, Michael McDowell was a great example.
By the
of
next year.
he's been in the Cup Series for, I think, 10, 12 years.
I don't know any
that-
drivers that are getting phased out at 35, 37 years old that have had, at year 12, 14 years. I mean, that were reasonably decent, right?
Yeah. I mean,
These
JJ
guys-
Riley's been in the sport for 20 years almost.
These guys are hanging around at the 240 at least. 43 is kind of the year.
age 43.
43 is where it kind of it might go a couple more years, but or it's dead stop in terms of performance. But so let's just say, all right, I was going to say 15 to 20 years is kind of the ballpark of a career of a reasonable, guy that's even going to be sharing this kind of stuff on social media. So you're saying less than half, 7 years is worth saying, hey, I've been around for.
It's an uneducated guess. I don't have analytics to back it up. I'm just saying that the more competitive the field gets, I just don't know what the average lifespan, not you and not Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart, but the average competitor. And I'm trying to think of a good example in the current series. Like right now,
the career.
How many starts does Alex Bowman currently have? Like somebody like that.
I guess it's
or like Ricky Stenhouse.
Alex Bowman's actually been doing it way longer than what I even feel like, because he was doing those Tommy Baldwins.
I just feel like this announcement is kind of like a Twilight announcement. It's not something you announce before only 40% into your career.
Well, like the one-liners, they can be announced or provided for people, but you don't have to take it. All right, It's not for everyone.
Bowman has 270 starts.
Wow. See, and how long has he been doing it? I mean, he's been actually doing it for a while, right?
I mean, what, 2016?
270?
Maybe 2015.
You got to kick
10 years. Oh, he did run for BK before.
That's
that too,
my
so
point. He was
years.
actually, even before Junior Motorsports, he'd already had Cup starts.
Yeah.
They were sporadic though. He didn't have full seasons here and there.
I think that's my point. I mean, like that all.
I'm not getting your point.
Well, my point is that I don't think that, once you make it to Cup, you're guaranteed, or you're just like, okay, well, this is going to be a 10-year run of just consistent rides and all that thing. I do think that, it's harder than what you're making it out to be to reach those numbers of races. That's all I'm saying.
500 starts is just under 14 years in the Cup Series if you run all the races. I think that's a pretty good number.
That's damn sure worth celebrating.
Yeah.
Say it again, Alex. I'm
It's
sorry.
just under 14 years in the Cup Series.
That's fair. Yeah.
When you make that sort of announcement, man, you want people to go, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Good job. Yeah. Or, some sort of reaction. 250. They're going to go, okay. Appreciate you letting me know. I really didn't need that information today, but now it's in my head.
It would be interesting to know what the average race, like for all the time, and especially looking at, and I'm sure Russell, the professor, has this maybe, and he'd probably go look for it, but like what the average number of races a Cup driver ends up doing in their career. That'd be interesting to know that.
It is.
Dalton, you got an opinion?
I think as a driver, I think I would celebrate my 100th start, and then I wouldn't do anything else until 500.
Oh, yeah. I like that. So, like, hey, I finally arrived, or I feel like I've established.
That's right. That's what Milestones is. That not only I made it, but I hung around a while.
Yeah.
By the way, we should probably say, I don't know if that picked up in the mic, but Dalton's idea was he would celebrate as a driver 100 and then not again until 500. That's what he said.
Good.
That's kind of neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to go?
It would be more like seasons for me. Like, oh, this is my 10th season in the Cup Series.
Right.
I think
and then
that's
you
like
could,
right around like 360 starts, and then you start.
You could put the starts in a parentheses, sort of like, hey, if you like the starts, here they are. If you don't, do not look over here.
Yeah.
But then he thinks up, what do you count as season?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, then, I guess that would be true.
But what classifies as a season if you ran 2 races or you ran 14?
Yeah. Now we're getting into that.
Now we're getting deep.
I might change my answer then.
You can have any answer you want.
That was easy to convince him off that.
Right.
I'm just thinking I'm going to be a full-time driver from day one. Yeah. That's at least how my career would be.
Yeah.
And I plan to stay for 20 years. I'm going after Petty.
Yeah.
Is Petty the record?
Yeah, he's by like over 200, 300.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Ricky Rudd's the next one with like 900 something,
I think, yeah.
I do remember Ricky Rudd, that being news.
That was crazy, right?
That was consecutive.
That's great. Yeah, that's crazy.
Consecutive starts.
Yeah.
It seemed like once some of those announcements started happening, and then people started piggybacking off of that, going, well, it's such and such's 250th start. It's this guy's 400. It's this guy's 300. This guy's got 100. This guy's got 200. Now it's like throughout the season, they're sort of sprinkled into the social media conversation of NASCAR. We're going to have 3 or 4 of those guys, and you might be wowed by one.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, as we're talking about Richard Petty, now that we've gone through the becoming Earnhardt 1979 season, and now knowing how many times they got out and got back in, I don't know if I was sitting here in front of the king, I'd say, I know you have that many starts, but I don't know. There's an asterisk behind that because you got out, took a lot of breaks.
How many cars did he get in?
How many cars did he get in, right? Yeah.
Got in a few cars.
Or who was it? Was it Lenny Pond that jumped in? Oh, no, those were –
I think it was Lenny Pond.
that jumped into a car. But did he make a start? No, he didn't make the start, did he?
I think he jumped in a couple times.
Yeah.
Based off that series, yeah.
Well, look, let them have their milestones, Dale.
Yeah.
Poor guys. I mean, what else? If you don't have wins, man, you got to go pull from some other stuff.
Yeah.
According to NASCAR.com, Richard Petty only made 513 consecutive starts.
Exactly.
That's kind of crazy.
He got hurt a few
did.
times. He did.
Yeah.
He had some injuries.
Yeah.
How many did Dale Earnhardt have? How many starts did Dale Earnhardt have?
Can we guess, Mike?
Yes, let's guess.
I'm going to say 850. Pick Mike.
I'm going to say, well, you're probably close. I'll say 950.
It's actually 648.
648.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I had just a couple, 10 or so starts shy of Dad's.
Wow, yeah, that's
See, we're getting wowed by
That's
600.
consecutive.
man. These milestone moments are
Wait,
That was
we're
consecutive.
talking about
starts.
total.
yeah.
I was talking
Total
about consecutive.
Dude.
It's
Alex,
I just mentioned it.
676 is total.
Oh, okay. It's just
Yeah.
not that much more.
Yeah.